Congratulations on your new Gaggia Classic GT. In this guide, you'll learn how to quickly set up the machine, how to make espresso and a latte, how to change menu functions, use brewing functions like programmable shot volumes in Pre-Infusion, learn how to get the best results when using Pre-Infusion, adjust brew pressure, plus get detailed instructions for routine cleaning and maintenance of your machine. This video is chaptered for quick access to specific topics. In the accessory box with a Gaggia Classic GT are a stainless steel tamper with smoked oak wood handle, double spouted portafilter, 11-gram single shot filter basket, 18-gram double shot filter basket, backflush disc, and a coffee measuring scoop. Preventing limescale deposits is critically important to keep your machine running properly for years to come. Scale can clog internal components, so only use water that's been softened to reduce calcium. We recommend products from BWT Water and More, including their in-reservoir and pitcher-based options. Use those as directed and you'll have the mineral level needed for good flavor, removal of chlorination, and no scale deposits. Compatible filtration products are listed on the Gaggia Classic GT product page at Whole Latte Love. To start up your GT for the first time, begin by removing and rinsing the reservoir. Fill the reservoir with properly filtered water to the max line and press the main power switch on the back of the machine. You will see the TFT display illuminate with the Gaggia logo and then go blank. Place a large receptacle under the group head, then press and hold the main power toggle on the front of the machine. You'll see an icon indicating water pouring from the group head into a cup with the instructions to press the check mark. Once you do, you will see a water droplet icon on the display and you'll hear both pumps activate. The machine will cycle water through both boilers and into the carafe you've placed under the group head. When the cycle is finished, you will see the set boiler temperature appear on the display and the machine will begin to heat. The GT is equipped with a quick heat feature that allows it to reach set brew temperature in under 5 minutes and steam temperatures after an additional 3 minutes. You'll know the machine is ready to brew when the ring light around the brew toggle lights up solid. The same is true for the light around the hot water toggle. Please note that for best temperature performance, you should flush the group head for 3 seconds if you're brewing as soon as the brew ready light turns on after the fast heating cycle. If brewing more than 10 minutes after power on, no flush is necessary. When you power on the machine for the first time, you'll notice the light around the hot water toggle is flashing. This means the machine is currently in hot water mode. If you want to froth milk, simply switch the steam toggle on. This will heat the steam boiler to your desired steam temperature. This process is only needed for the initial startup. From now on, whenever you turn your machine on, it will automatically return to the last setting you used before powering it off. When brewing with the Gaggia Classic GT, you'll be using fresh ground coffee from a suitable espresso grinder. Fine-tuning grind size is the key to success when grinding your own coffee fresh. It's a straightforward process of adjusting the grind size to change how long it takes the espresso to extract. Grinding finer slows down the extraction and grinding coarser speeds it up. The goal is for the entire extraction to take about 25 to 30 seconds. Timing is the same for single and double shots, so start with a grind that looks like this, very fine. When you pinch it between your fingers, it should hold together a bit and be fine enough to maybe make out your fingerprints in the compressed coffee. When you have a grind size that looks like this, load your portafilter. It's important to try and use the same amount or weight of coffee each time. Using more coffee slows down an extraction and using less speeds it up. The best way to be consistent is to weigh the coffee. But if you do not have a scale, you can get close by slightly overfilling your portafilter and swiping away excess coffee level with the rim. With the coffee loaded, use the tamper to firmly and evenly compress the coffee. You want a nice flat surface so brew water moves evenly through the coffee. Attach the portafilter and press the brew switch to start and stop your extraction. For a full description of using the pre-infusion and extraction programming features, see the relevant chapters later in this video. Time the extraction. Again, the goal is about 25 to 30 seconds for the extraction, and timing is the same for single and double shots. Any pre-infusion time is not included in extraction timing. If your extraction was too slow, adjust the grind size a little coarser and try again. If the extraction was too fast, adjust the grind size a little finer to slow it down. Now, you could get lucky and get the grind size right in a couple of attempts, but no, it's not unusual to do 3 or more to dial into the right grind size. A good quality espresso-focused grinder helps a lot. Be consistent with the amount of coffee used and tamp coffee firm and level. Also know that grind size is not set and forget. If you change coffee type, as your beans age, or the amount used changes, your grind size will likely need slight adjustment. You've made your espresso, so let's look at frothing milk and we'll combine the two for a latte. Begin by opening the steam valve briefly to purge any water from the steam wand. Then position the tip just below the surface of the milk and open the valve. This tip position sips in small amounts of air, creating tiny microbubbles in the milk, which creates a rich, creamy texture. As the milk expands, lower the pitcher ever so slightly to keep the tip at the same depth just below the surface of the milk. When satisfied with the amount of air in the milk, lower the wand a little deeper below the surface and find a wand angle that causes the milk to swirl. This swirling breaks up any larger bubbles and creates a uniform milk texture in the pitcher. Keep the milk swirling until the outside of the pitcher just starts to get uncomfortable to hold due to heating. That's when the milk is at about 140 Fahrenheit or 60 Celsius, the sweet point for milk temperature. Close the steam valve with the tip below the surface. Wipe down the wand immediately to prevent milk from baking on. Always purge the steam wand after frothing to ensure no milk solids stick to the inside of the wand. Of course, the Gaggia Classic GT is a true dual boiler espresso machine, which means you can froth milk and brew espresso at the same time for a more streamlined brewing experience. Before pouring the frothed milk over your espresso, you can tap and swirl the pitcher to break up any larger bubbles. Then pour a bit of the frothed milk in your cup and give it a little swirl to mix with your espresso. Then continue pouring the rest of the milk froth to fill your cup. It'll taste great just like this, or with a little practice and the help of online tutorials, you can dress it up with some latte art. On the top of the machine from back to front is the water reservoir, cup warming area, and 2.4-inch TFT control panel display. This screen allows you to adjust most of the brew and function settings on the GT. From the main control panel screen, the plus and minus buttons adjust the brew temperature between 176 and 212 Fahrenheit. Tap the gear icon to bring up the internal settings menus. Use the plus and minus icons to scroll through the various menu settings, and the check icon to enter a menu or confirm a selection. The reverse arrow returns you to the previous menu. The GT has 3 different automatic pre-infusion profiles, each of which gently wets the puck with low-flow water for a specified period, and then pauses to allow the coffee to bloom before brewing at full pressure. Each profile is tailored to a specific roast level. For light roast, coffee is pre-infused for 12 seconds followed by a 3-second pause. For medium roast, it's 8 seconds with a 3-second pause. For dark roast, it's 2 seconds with a 1-second pause. Once enabled, you can set the GT's internal clock and then program a specific time of day for the machine to automatically power on. Note that in this setting, there is no way to program the machine to shut off at a particular time. Instead, the standby mode can be set to automatically shut the machine off after a specified period of inactivity, anywhere from 15 to 480 minutes. When not enabled, the GT will stay on until you shut it down manually. Eco mode, when enabled, shuts off the steam boiler to conserve energy. If the steam or hot water toggles are pressed, Eco mode will automatically be disabled and must be turned back on from the PID settings menu. The last 3 menus allow you to toggle the button sounds, choose between temperature measurement in Celsius or Fahrenheit, and set the steam boiler temperature. Unlike the brew boiler, the steam boiler has 4 preset temperatures: 248, 257, 266, or 275 degrees Fahrenheit. The higher the temperature, the more steam power you'll get for frothing. If you're just learning how to froth milk, a lower steam boiler temperature can give you more time to aerate your milk, which may yield better results. The front face of the machine features a row of toggle switches that control the GT's main functions. The main power switch turns the machine on and off. The pre-infusion switch activates or deactivates the automated pre-infusion programming. It can also be used to perform a manual pre-infusion. Press and hold the switch until you hear the pump activate. A timer will appear on the control panel screen. The GT is now gently wetting your coffee with a low flow of water at about 3 grams per second. Once you've reached your desired active pre-infusion time, release the pre-infusion toggle. The pump will shut off and a new timer will start. This is your soaking time, during which the coffee is allowed to bloom. Once you've reached your desired soaking time, press the brew switch to initiate your full pressure extraction. The hot water toggle dispenses hot water from the spout on the left of the machine for Americanos, teas, and other uses. Press it to start dispensing water and press it again to stop. Please note that dispensing large volumes of hot water can affect steaming performance, and you may need to wait for the temperature in the steam boiler to rise before frothing milk. If the steam toggle light is on, pressing it turns it off and activates an optional hot water mode for the steam boiler, reducing it to about 235 degrees Fahrenheit. This helps conserve power and provides a gentler flow of water from the hot water tap compared to when the machine is in steam mode. To return to steam mode, press the steam toggle to turn the light back on. Beneath the row of toggles is an analog brew pressure gauge that displays in-puck pressure during an extraction. Standard extraction pressure is right around 9 bar, though anything between 8 and 10 should produce a perfectly fine extraction. To check what the set pressure on the machine is, put the backflush disc in your portafilter, lock it into the brew group, run the pump, and check the gauge. You can adjust this pressure by using a flathead screwdriver to turn the OPV screw located on the right side of the machine. When set to 9 bar, which we recommend, extraction pressures below 8 are an indication that you may be grinding too coarse or underfilling your basket. The drip tray on the GT is height adjustable. Simply slide it out and raise it to decrease the distance between your cup and the portafilter spout. This is ideal when brewing into short espresso cups. The discharge duct has an accordion design, so it can stretch or compress to accommodate either drip tray position. The GT uses a 3-way solenoid valve to discharge excess water from the puck after an extraction. So you may notice water being evacuated from the lower spout after an extraction. This is normal. It's also normal for a small amount of steam or water to be discharged from this decompression duct when the steam boiler reaches temperatures above boiling point. The brew toggle is used to start and stop an extraction. You can also program an automatic volumetric brew recipe. To do that, use manual brewing first and dial in your grind size to produce a shot you like. General baseline there is a 1-to-2 brew ratio produced in 25 to 30 seconds. Once you have that, you can program a volume. With coffee in a portafilter, press and hold the brew toggle until you hear the pump activate and the word preset appears on the control panel screen. For example, I'm doing a fairly standard espresso extraction using that 1-to-2 weight ratio of ground coffee to finished espresso in my cup. My ground coffee dose was 18 grams, so I'm going to stop the extraction just a couple grams short of the 36 grams to allow for a couple grams of drip off. When I reach the target weight, I press the brew toggle again and the pump stops. The GT is going to store that volume and the word preset remains on the screen. Next time I press the brew toggle, I'll get a measured shot of espresso within a few grams of that. Now that works great for cappuccinos and lattes, but if you want to be perfectly precise, use manual brewing. To return to manual brewing, simultaneously press and hold the pre-infusion and brew toggles until the word preset disappears from the screen. To use the preset again, press and hold the 2 toggles until the word preset reappears on the screen. The GT stores the preset volume until it is reprogrammed. On the Classic GT, you've got 3 automatic pre-infusion presets, plus a manual pre-infusion mode with individual timers for the low flow and soak phases, and an unrestricted low flow rate averaging about 3 grams per second for the medium and light presets and manual mode. When using pre-infusion, a real-time display shows low flow time, soak time, and shot time. To use the automatic pre-infusion, press the touchscreen to go into the settings and pick from one of those 3 presets based on your coffee's roast level and density, dark, medium, or light. Turn on pre-infusion, flip the brew switch, and the GT is going to take it all from there. So you know the timings I'll discuss here apply only to GTs shipping in the US and Canada for now, but that could change. Use the dark preset for, you guessed it, dark roast or coffees that are maybe a little past their prime. The sole purpose here is to prevent channeling without changing the basic extraction. Pump's going to kick on for 2 seconds, then pauses for 1. That brief flow with no pressure wets the top of the puck only with about 6 grams of water and helps prevent channeling before the full flow and pressure build for the extraction. This setting will not over-extract dark roasts and reduces stale flavors in older coffees. The medium preset is perfect for, well, surprise, most medium roasts. Here the pump runs for 8 seconds at an average unrestricted flow rate of about 3 grams per second, then pauses for a 3-second soak before full extraction. It's going to be ideal for most medium density coffees. At this pre-infusion setting, the goal is to fully saturate the puck. Doing that helps to balance out acids that extract easily by extracting more sugars, oils, and solids. Doing this brings more balance to the taste experience. If you use a medium pre-infusion setting and the puck is not fully saturating, then you might want to move up to the light setting. Now, it's easy to check for full saturation using a naked portafilter and a shot mirror if you don't like bending over. When espresso just starts to appear, you have full saturation of the puck. The light setting is the one to use if you did not get full puck saturation of a medium or light roast coffee at the medium setting. It increases the pump on time to 12 seconds, again at that unrestricted average flow rate of about 3 grams per second before a 3-second soak. Now, if you know your coffee is a higher altitude, light roast, single origin with higher density, you might just start at this pre-infusion preset. Like the medium setting, the goal again is to fully saturate the puck to help extract more sugars, oils, and solids to balance out the taste experience compared to the acids which extract easily without pre-infusion. It really helps to reduce that bright acidity that's common in very fresh from roast coffees, and once again, it's going to help reduce channeling. For full control, manual pre-infusion of timing, that's the way to go. On the GT, it's instantly accessible with no menu diving. Just press and hold the pre-infusion switch. You get up to 30 seconds of low flow, followed by up to 30 seconds of soak before you start your full extraction by toggling the brew switch. It's my favorite way to use pre-infusion on a GT. I use this a lot with very fresh, high-altitude single origins. I'm going to let that low flow run until I see the first drops push through the basket in a naked portafilter. And usually it happens somewhere between 12 and 15 seconds when using very dense coffees. When that happens, I'm usually seeing about 3 bar on the brew pressure gauge. Then I pause for a few seconds, hit the brew switch, and boom, a beautiful and tasty extraction. Now, if you're not seeing full saturation at 15 seconds, it might be an indication that your grind is too fine. Now, what's totally awesome and very useful is the GT's display showing timing for all 3 phases when you're using manual pre-infusion. So you'll see the low flow, soak, and shot time. You're going to know exactly what you did, which means you can actually repeat it when you nail that perfect shot. Imagine that. But do feel free to experiment and always taste the coffee and decide what tastes best for you. For a visual look at how the different pre-infusion settings act on the coffee puck, I knocked a puck out from each one. As you can see, the dark preset gets just the top of the puck. The medium fully saturates, for the most part, a typical medium roast coffee, and the light setting fully saturates a denser light roast coffee. You can use automatic pre-infusion presets in combination with programmed shot volumes. The final shot volume you program will not include water that saturates the puck during the pre-infusion phase. So you need to program the shot with a lesser volume to account for pre-infusion water added to the coffee. For the dark preset, program the shot 2 grams less than your desired final weight. For the medium preset, program it 6 grams less, and program it 18 grams less for the light preset. For example, if you want 35 grams in your cup, program the shot volume at 35 minus 6 to equal 29 grams. Note that these offsets can be affected by variables like coffee dose weight, grind size, and other factors. When using a pre-infusion preset, you can stop it short while in progress by pressing the pre-infusion toggle. When you do that, the machine will immediately move on to normal brewing and continue with the programmed shot volume. Maintenance frequency is dependent on the use level of your machine. These recommendations assume average daily use of 4 drinks. Upcoming chapters detail how to perform basic maintenance. The steam boiler refresh is only needed if you do not draw hot water from the machine. Over time, dispensing steam only causes minerals to concentrate in the boiler. To refresh, dispense 2 cups of hot water. Clean the brew group using a brush and detergent once a week. Watch the brew group cleaning chapter for instructions. Backflushing the machine weekly with water only and monthly using a detergent cleans brewing components and the 3-way solenoid valve. Watch the backflush chapter for instructions. For brew component cleaning, parts are disassembled and deep cleaned using a detergent. Watch the brew group component chapter for instructions. Steam wand deep cleaning removes dried on external and internal milk deposits. If you follow best practices and always purge the wand with steam after frothing and wipe it down, this is usually not needed. Watch the steam wand cleaning chapter for instructions. Replace water filters at manufacturer recommended intervals. Use a filter from BWT or similar options which soften water by reducing calcium concentration. Replace the group gasket annually or when it's no longer making a good seal with a portafilter. Watch the brew component cleaning chapter for instructions. Employing a few best practices keeps your machine running well and may delay the need to perform some maintenance items. Purging a small amount of water from the group after an extraction rinses loose coffee grounds from the shower screen, helps keep it clean, and reduces the frequency of manual group cleaning. Rinse and wipe the portafilter clean after pulling a shot. Store the portafilter gently locked into the group head when not in use. After steaming milk, do not leave the wand submerged in milk. Remove immediately to prevent milk being sucked up into the wand. Always purge the wand with steam and wipe it clean as soon as possible after use. Wipe down the wand to prevent milk bake-on and always open the steam valve to purge and expel any milk within the wand.
I'm going to show you how to clean the group gasket and also the exterior part of the brew group. Over time, they'll get coffee built up on them and you may get leaks around the portafilter, or you may have a hard time actually getting the portafilter into the group. So the gasket is up inside here, and these ears on the portafilter, they lock in here, and there's an area where you'll see with the brasses where if coffee builds up, you may have a hard time getting this in. So this video is going to show you how to clean that out. So we take the portafilter out, and I'm going to use the Ernex Cafizza and my Ernex scoop brush, which I love. If you take 1 scoop of that, then just add a little hot water from your machine. You don't need a lot. That's enough. And then we'll stir it up, get it foaming. Now what's beautiful about this brush is when you use this, it's got this part here to keep any hot water coming back and getting on you. It's a really nice design. So what we'll do is we'll fit up in here, kind of fit it between the shower holding plate you'll see there and the edge of the group, and get in there and just kind of just work it around. It's not always that easy to get in there, but you can get it. Oh, I should have showed you, but you can see the coffee building up on it already. And then also kind of come in at an angle like this, so you get up into the grooves where the portafilter fits. Come on an angle. And you want to keep looking down on it. Don't want to get underneath and look up because you might get some of the cleaner spraying back onto you. And we don't want that. Okay, so once you feel you've done pretty good on that, turn the pump on, and then from there, you can do something like this with the water running. Make sure you get it all nice and clean. And that's where it really is nice to have this brush. Otherwise the water runs down and gets on you, and that's no fun. We don't like that. Pretty simple process, and that's just how you clean that out. Recommend doing this depending on how often you use the machine. Probably every 2 weeks, I would say, at least. If you use the machine a lot, you can do it more than that. I'm going to show you how to do the backflushing at the Gaggia Classic GT. Backflushing is a process used to clean the shower holding plate, the shower screen, and the three-way solenoid valve. Just takes a few minutes, and I'm going to run through, show you how to do it. First thing we need to do is take the portafilter out of the machine and take out the existing filter basket, which would probably be your double or single, and then put in the blank filter basket. It's not even a filter basket, it's a blank disc here. Pop that in there. And what I use to take this out, this is by LF, it's called an extractor. You might want to get one of those. It makes it real easy because it's kind of hard to get your fingernails underneath. And then what we'll do is take, I like to use Ernex Cafizza, works very well. This is an Ernex scoop brush. Highly recommend getting one of these for measuring out your Cafizza for your cleaning and also for the brush, which we'll do in another video. Show you how that works for cleaning your group gasket. So we put the handle back in the machine, and then I'm gonna raise this tube up here, the blow-off tube, put a cup underneath it so you can see how much foam is coming out, how much cleaner. Normally this will go into the drip tray. So like I said, the cleaner will go up through the shower holding plate and the shower screen, through the three-way solenoid valve, then down through the blow-off tube into this cup. So what you do is you hit the coffee button, make sure you're not in the pre-infusion mode. Watch the gauge come up. When you get full pressure, go ahead and release that. And you see it blows off the cleaner into the cup here. And we'll do it again. And let it go. A little bit of coffee in there. This machine has not had a lot of use. It's been in some of our videos, but enough that you get to see how the process works. So this is 3 times. Okay, well, I'll put this off to the side. Then we'll do it again in another cup. Again, wait for the pressure to go up and stop it. Yeah, the more you do it, the cleaner the foam will get. Okay, we'll do it again. Okay, the foam's actually looking pretty clean coming out. Like I say, this has not been used a lot. Okay, if you look in there, you can see that it is dirty. There's coffee colored, coffee around the rim there. So let me dump that out. And then I'm going to rinse out the backflush disc, put it back in the machine. And now we're going to do some with just water. And you can see how that goes. And this, we use this to clean the cleaner out of this, all the brewing components, which again is the shower screen, the shower holding plate, and the three-way solenoid valve. Okay, do a couple of these. I'll do 3 of these. And that should be enough to clean all the cleaner out. Okay, now we can take this out and take another look. Okay, see a few coffee grounds in there and some little bit of darkness to the water. Run a little more through and take a look again. So she looks pretty good. So I'd say this machine is pretty clean. Now how often you do it, that's always a good question. If you use a machine a lot, maybe every 2 weeks, a couple coffees a day, maybe once a month, you're gonna have to kind of judge by that. to show you how to clean out the brewing components on the Gaggia Classic GT. That will include the portafilter, the filter basket, the shower holding plate, the shower screen, and inside the brew group. Now the tools we'll need for this, we need a brush to clean out inside the brew group. We're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, a pick with a right angle, 5mm Allen wrench, group gasket, a little bit of lube on the Gaggia Classic GT if you have it. You might be able to get away without it. And this is a little filter basket extractor, which I always like to throw in here because it's really nice for pulling the filter baskets out of your machine, out of your portafilter. Then some containers to put hot water and some Kafitsa, which is an incredible cleaner. The machine I have here has been used, has not been taken care of very well, so I figured this is a good one to give a good demo on. So we'll start right away. I'm going to pull out the shower screen with a relatively large Phillips head screwdriver. You know, not a tiny one. It's actually, I guess you call it a medium one. We'll take out the screw and make sure you put things in a spot you're not going to lose them. Stick that there. And then to see how dirty it is, you can always hold these up to the light and try and look through it. And sometimes we get these back for service and you can't even see light, maybe just a little pinprick of a hole. So we got that out. Then to get the shower holding plate, 5mm Allen wrench. Kind of crack it just to get it loose. And we'll take these out. Now, if you've been maintaining a machine, it'll come out really easy. If it's been in there for a year or so, it may take a little bit of fight to get it out, but normally you can just pry it right out like that. And this is not that dirty, like I was hoping it would be. Then you have an O-ring here. We'll keep this O-ring off to the side. Don't want to lose that. Okay, now you can see up in here, you see how, hopefully you can see it there, there's quite a bit of coffee buildup. Now to get the group gasket out, pick will work good. Just put it in the side, then pull it out. Now if that doesn't happen, if it's really old and hard, you may have to take like a screwdriver and actually chip it out. Hate to have to do that, but we've seen sometimes they're just like rock in there. Okay, so now we have all of our coffee buildup in there. You get a good view of everything. We're gonna take some of our Kafitsa here. A couple scoops of this. It'll probably be about 5 grams. And you're gonna need hot water. I didn't mention that at the beginning, but you're gonna need that. And we're gonna create a solution that we're gonna use for cleaning out the group with our brushes. At the same time, I'm gonna put some in here. And I'm gonna use this for cleaning out the portafilter. And get a little bit more. I'll probably try 4 scoops in here. I don't have an exact amount you need, but you can play with this. Stir it up a little bit. And then I'm going to do a separate one here for the shower screen and shower holding plate. Then just drop these in here and let them start cleaning. So over here, for the portafilter, we'll take out the filter basket. Now you can see it's a little coffee in there, a little coffee around the edges here. It's not bad, but we'll take this and we'll just toss that in there with all this. And we'll put the portafilter, I'm gonna put it in here. Try and do it in such a way where you don't get the cleaner on the plastic. Get a little higher on this. And you can already see some of the coffee colors coming off on this. This will clean out really, really nice. So while that's doing its work, let's go over here. We'll clean out the inside of the brew group. I have 2 different brushes here. Let's see which one works the best. I kind of like this old toothbrush, and you just start wiping that down. Let it sit a little bit. And if you don't think your toothbrush is getting in the groove where the shower screen or where the group gasket goes, you can use this brush here. This is an Ernex scoop brush, very handy. A little stiffer, so if you need something more to really work out the coffee, you can use that. It's a little messy, so always make sure you have a rag underneath there. Okay, now we'll let it sit for a little while, and then we'll come back and finish the cleaning. Okay, so I let it sit for only about 5 minutes because this really is not bad. If it was real bad, you let it sit longer than that. So I'll come back in here, do a little more cleaning. That's not looking too bad. Now, one thing you have to really careful, or well, not careful, but look for, if you have not cleaned in a while, coffee grounds can build up inside these grooves also here, which will prevent the portafilter from locking into place. So let's take a look at our portafilter. That looks real good, especially compared to what it was. See there, she's nice and shiny. Now you're gonna wanna get inside these spouts also here, but the Cafezza did enough just to get that cleaned out all by itself. I'll take a look over here. And got a little coffee around the edges there, but that's just not even coffee, that's just some sort of the cleaner. So that looks pretty good. Shower screen's looking good. And the shower holding plate is looking good. Now, of course, be careful, these could be hot. My fingers don't seem to mind too much for some reason. Okay, so now I'm gonna take these over to the sink, and I'm gonna wash these out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just got back from the sink, and I have the portafilter, filter basket, shower holding plate, and shower screen all cleaned up, ready to go back in. But we still have to clean out the group itself. Now you can do a couple things. You can take it over to the sink, use a water spritzer and rinse it out real good. Or what I'll do here is I'm just have a little RDT sprayer. I'm gonna use that to spray this out a little bit. Spray it and clean it out. And do as much as you think is necessary. Kind of look at it, and you'll see by if you see any suds in there, how clean to make it. Then to put your group gasket in, it just slides in. Should fit really nicely. On this particular gasket, there's no special side that goes up. And then we'll put everything together here. First, I'll take the O-ring, and I'll put a touch bit of lube on that. That keeps it in good shape and helps it stick into the shower holding plate so when you're installing it, it doesn't fall out. Put one of your Allen screws in the shower holding plate along with the Allen wrench on it, and position it and put it in. Just lightly snug, not real snug. Then get the other one. We'll snug it up pretty good. Don't have to crank on it. And then we'll put the shower screen in. It works just to use your screwdriver like that. It makes it a lot easier to put in, hold it in place. And snug it. Don't crank on it. It'll be hard to get out the next time. That's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple process. Make sure the machine's cold when you do this. Very, very important when you take out the shower holding plate that the machine is cold.
It's especially important to do a thorough wipe down of the wand with a damp barista towel and purge it as soon as possible after frothing to prevent buildup. We also highly recommend regular cleaning with Rinza Steam Wand Cleaner. Just fill your frothing pitcher with warm water, add the recommended dose of Rinza, and allow your steam wand to soak in the solution for up to 30 minutes. Be sure to wipe down and purge your wand thoroughly after using Rinza so you don't contaminate your next milk drink with cleaning product. For additional information on operating and maintaining your Gaggia Classic GT, see the operating instructions book which came with the machine. Also see this video's description for additional videos covering topics ranging from basic to advanced brewing and frothing techniques. For technical assistance, contact Whole Latte Love's Customer or Technical Support Center.